Inside your mind, there's a voice that's constantly talking, commenting, and narrating everything you experience. This voice begins its chatter from a young age, and as we mature, we start believing that this voice is our true self, expressing our thoughts and emotions. However, it's essential to grasp this crucial idea. You are not that voice. You are not merely your thoughts or the stories that voice tells you. Consider it this way. When you watch a movie, you understand that you aren't the characters on the screen, right? You are simply observing their stories. Similarly, the voice in your head is like those characters. It's not truly you. So why do you think this voice represents you? It's because as you grow, you're taught by family, friends, schools, and the environment to think in terms of words and ideas. You learn to interpret the world by labeling experiences with language, and over time, you become so entrenched in these thoughts and words that you accept them as your identity. As you reach adulthood, the voice in your head becomes louder and more influential, much like a critic perched on your shoulder, always judging. This happens because you begin to seek acknowledgement and validation from society and others. You yearn to be accepted, respected, and successful based on societal standards. This internal critic is harsh. It compares your worth against others and what society expects, like an unceasing measuring tape, continually evaluating you against the world's benchmarks. Moreover, this voice doesn't just focus on the present. It frequently brings up the past, reminding you of mistakes and instilling guilt and shame, akin to a recurring movie playing the same distressing scenes. Simultaneously, it predicts future mishaps, filling your mind with anxieties and fears about unclaimed uncertainties. It's fascinating how, in trying to avoid certain emotions, we often end up intensifying them. It's a peculiar twist of the mind's operations. Take feelings of inadequacy, for instance. Maybe as a child, your parents inadvertently made you feel insufficient or undeserving of love. As an adult, you work hard to avoid these feelings, but paradoxically, the more you resist them, the more they seem to amplify. It's akin to avoiding a thought, only to obsess over it more. By attempting to shield yourself from these painful emotions, your mind ironically emphasizes them, because it's skilled at clinging to what you're trying to avoid, like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You become so busy trying not to feel something that you inadvertently strengthen that feeling. This voice is chatty and discusses what you've done, what you should do, and others' perceptions of you. Sometimes it is highly critical, making you feel bad, while other times it tells pleasant stories that boost your mood. Nonetheless, whether it tells negative or positive tales, it remains a voice, not your authentic self. The real you is far more profound and wonderful. You are the observer who can listen to the voice without losing yourself in it. You're the one who can decide what to believe or disregard. The voice that declares you're not adequate or deserving is not your genuine self. It's like a tape recorder replaying negative feedback from others or self-criticisms based on past experiences. Your true self is different. It is kind and understanding. It sees your worth and potential, acting as a compassionate friend noticing your struggles, saying, "I see your pain, and I understand your fear." This authentic self does not belittle or confine you with doubts. Instead, it supports and encourages you, reminding you of your strengths and values. Understanding that you are merely the observer of your thoughts rather than their embodiment feels like harnessing a superpower. It transforms how you perceive yourself and your mind, recognizing that you have the autonomy to choose which thoughts to heed or let go, much like selecting a radio station. Recognizing this empowers you to liberate yourself from the grip of these thoughts. You realize they don't dictate your value or potential. It's similar to stepping away from a noisy crowd to find a peaceful space for clear thought. Within this calmness, you can establish a kinder, more positive internal dialogue, addressing yourself with encouragement as you would a friend. This shift invites more hope and brightness into your mind. Remember, you are the observer, a calm, steady presence witnessing these thoughts pass by. You are more than a bundle of thoughts and emotions. You are the one observing them. You're like a stable tree enduring changing seasons and weather, with emotions and experiences acting as shifting weather. Yet you remain constant. Once this concept truly resonates within you, You're freed from persistently reacting to every fleeting thought and emotion. Instead, you become the master of your mind. This newfound freedom permits you to simply be, to exist in the present moment without being tugged around by thoughts. So, remember, you are in control of your mind. You can select which thoughts to honor and which to release. This is how you cultivate inner peace and contentment.